Okay with this response from Lonzo?
No, I'm not. I hated the response. I think it's a lame response. You can push back from your dad without ripping your dad publicly. I would have loved to have heard Lonzo say, as a kid growing up in suburban LA, the only thing I ever wanted to do was put on that Lakers jersey and play for the Lakers. I'm living my dream, and I want to be here as long as they want me here. You win the fans. Everybody, you don't have, without just ripping your dad and saying, he's a fool, don't listen to him. That's not what I want to hear. I just want Lonzo to speak for himself and say what it is. This is supposedly his dream. This is like some milquetoast, middle of the road, nothing. And the same thing, this was his response when his dad ripped Luke Walton. He said, oh, I'll play for anybody. What does that mean? Right. Yes, you will. You're a basketball player. Whoever the coach is, you got to play. So the idea that he refuses to take a stand and say what his thoughts are bothers me. I get it. He's 20 years old. He's a young guy. He's got a domineering dad who he obviously loves. We get that, right? His dad has done everything, put him in a great position. So I'm not looking for Lonzo to rip on his father publicly. I'm not. I just think that he needs to be more assertive, speak your mind, let people know where you're coming from, and then your voice will drown out your dad's voice. But to just co-sign,
I don't know about that.
No, I'm just saying. But if you hear from him, dude, I'm a Laker for life. This was my all-time dream. I don't care what Lavar says. I'm going to listen to the kid. He's got the uniform. He's got the contract.
Yeah, I'm okay with what he said. I'm okay with what he said, even though I agree with you. I want him to say more. I want him to be different. I want him to speak up and stand up for himself and kind of, in a sense, show some backbone, if you will, against his dad. But this is who Lonzo Ball is. This is who he is. He's never been one that's going to jump on one side or the other. He stays right in the middle, stays neutral. He wants to save face with his dad. He obviously has.
Is he Switzerland or basketball player?
He's Lonzo Ball. He's Lonzo Ball. He's been consistent. And so the number one thing you want out of somebody, a human being, I don't care what line of work you're in, you want them to be consistent. Be who you are. Don't turn into somebody else just because you're listening and you're hearing all the noise and the chatter. That's great if you want me to do that. But do I have to do that? No. If I choose to be who I am, that's who you're going to know me as. That's who you're going to have to respect me as. I'm not saying I don't agree with you when it comes to should he say something different.
But the only difference is, and I'm going to let Chris go, the only difference is his not saying anything is not just a personal thing for him. It hurts the franchise. It hurts other people coming to be a part of it. That's the responsibility. That's the leadership that Magic's talking about. You need a guy to say, I'm going to be here. I love LA. I love the organization. When you don't say that, if I'm another player from somewhere like, dude, what? Yeah. This is the leader of the franchise down the road. I'm not going there.
No, look, I get where you're coming from. You have to be who you are, but sometimes you can be in a position where you need to come outside of yourself, or honestly, you need to grow. And if this is who Lonzo Ball is and is going to be throughout his career, he's not a leader. That's not what a leader says.
100%.
And I need a leader as my point guard, especially the Los Angeles Lakers. I've been compared to Magic Johnson and guys like that. This was not, I'm getting tired of it. I understand you love your dad. Everybody loves their dad. I want to stop giving credit to you love your dad. Everybody loves their parents. All right? And I'm not saying, you're right. You don't want him to call out his dad.
No.
But you have to, this cannot continue if you're going to lead a team full of grown men on the basketball court. Because we talked earlier in the week, one, they're not going to be able to confide in you because they might think you're going to your dad, telling him everything. And two, they're going to look at you as you're not your own man. So I get this is who Lonzo has been and who is. But I've been in situations, I'm sure you two have as well, you three, where you've had to grow. And, you know, this is really not who I usually am, but I have to do this now. It's not a negative thing, but just to get to the next level, to fulfill my responsibilities in the role that I'm in now, I have got to do something I'm not really comfortable with. And Lonzo is going to have to do it. This is ridiculous. I mean, especially if inside he really does feel like you said, I want to be a Laker for life. I've been dreaming about this my whole career. I get to be mentored by my hero, Magic Johnson. And you're going to let your dad, you're not 12, you're not 15. You're 20 years old with a baby on the way with a $6 million salary, and you bought the family's house. That's also what was in Ramona Shelburne's article. Come on. I mean, again, don't pick a public fight with your dad, but you have to stand up and be like, I'm my own man. And if I ain't my own man today, I'm definitely going to be my own man 3 years from now.
Okay.
When you saying you going to take me off the Lakers?
Again, I'm not trying to go back and forth. I'm just, so let's say everything, look at it this way. Everything that Lavar Ball has done, would you not say it's been very tactical? He's been very strategy-driven about everything that he's done up until this part. As far as marketing, the way he marketed his sons, their brand, elevating everything around them to make them more attractive. What if he's just solely doing this for until he can get these younger brothers in a position
on the Lakers,
or in the league, or in the league. Period. I'm just saying. And Lonzo
the second son couldn't even start on.
I get all of that. I get all of that. But obviously, Lonzo, there is a strategy here that Lonzo is unwilling to detour from. He's not going to jump ship. So he's not going to turn into this leader guy that we all want him to be, vocally and saying things that he feels like would offend his parents or his brothers. He's not going to do that. He's not. If he was going to do it, he would have done it. And I think that right now he's in the perfect situation because Magic Johnson, obviously, he knows he has a relationship with Lavar. He has a relationship with Lonzo. He knew what he was getting himself into. I don't think to this degree, but he knew what Lavar Ball was doing all up until this point. So you can't tell me all of a sudden everybody's ready to just turn on Lavar and just say, hey, man, look, cut it out, shut up, or we getting rid of your son, or dad, shut up because you're ruining my career. I get all of that.
The problem is his dad's not making middle-of-the-road comments. His dad is making such extreme comments that you have to say something. At the very least, go to him and say it. Go to your dad and say it. Dad, come on, you gotta stop. Please stop with this stuff.
What if he did?
If your dad's not doing it.
So now all of a sudden you tell me.
So then you have to be a grown man. And look, I love my dad as much as Lonzo loves his dad. If my dad was interfering with my career to this degree, I'd have to say something to him. Absolutely. And if he wouldn't listen, I'd have to say something with force to him.
I think it's going to be the baby for him. I think that's what it's going to be for Lonzo. I think he's going to see that dynamic, and that's when he's going to grow up. Like you said, there's a moment.
Yep. I hope so.
Hope so, too. All right, well, one of the biggest names in the NFL might be on his way out if the Steelers don't find a way to step up. That's straight ahead. Keep it right here.